let's break down how this all began, man. Like, what opened the door to all this even showing up in our feed?
Uh-huh. So what I've done my research on was that there was an informant who, if you guys know what a foreman, if I said it correctly, is a person who snitched or ratted out on someone in order to tell the FBI or the government more information about what's going on. So pretty much someone that knew someone else told who was involved in this whole sports gambling operation. And that's when they mentioned Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damian Jones. Terry Rozier is a NBA player guard for the Miami Heat. Chauncey Billups is a former NBA player, Hall of Famer. Now he is a head coach for the Portland Trailblazers.
Mm.
And Damian Jones is a former NBA player, guard, who used to play for a couple of teams, and now he's assistant coach for the LA Lakers. So, like I said, someone told someone about everyone involved, over 30 people. Some of them were former players, former coaches. Some of them were just people that were just really well connected to not only other professional athletes and all, but also organized crime.
Mm.
And this is pretty much all connected to the four mafia families. There's five mafia families in New York, but the four that were involved were the Bonanno, the Lucchese, the Genovese, and the Lucchese's. Well, I think maybe it's Lucchese. Well, one of the four families out of the five. And so pretty much when in the news they were saying that Terry Rozier wasn't really involved with the mafia, but they're thinking he is. What happened to him was that it was a couple of times the last 2 years he told a close friend that he was, hey, I'm gonna go under this many points, this many rebounds, this many assists,
Mm.
bet under. And what made everyone, be like, what the, was when on, I forgot which date, which time, but I know that he versus the New Orleans Pelicans as he was on the Charlotte Hornets in 2023.
Mm.
And he ended up having 5 points, 4 rebounds, like 3 assists. And it's only the first quarter. And he left after 9 minutes, which is his 4 quarters um, in a game. So he left, the first 9 minutes, and he went home due to injury. And there was never any report about him being injured,
Mm.
nothing. And you're supposed to report it back on your depth chart. If
Mm.
you don't, it's not good. Gonna raise a red flag to the league, and
And he
that,
did it.
and no, I don't know what happened. Maybe he just snuck out. Nobody knew. I don't know. And then he went home, and then that raised the red flags to the league. I think like a year later, I don't know how. And then he ended up being in trouble with the league. He was out for like a couple of months due to this. And then the league ended up just saying, we have no evidence. We can't really tell if you really did it or not.
Mm.
But we're not sure if the league really knew about it. They didn't want to make a big thing or not.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't. And there's been video proof of him passing the ball ridiculously, trying to shoot the
Right.
shot like he never played before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what the? What? And he's a good player. It's not like he's some scrub.
Nah, he looks nice.
So, yeah, he's one player. And then Chauncey Billups used to play for the Detroit Pistons back in the early 2000s.
Mm.
And now he's the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers. We're not sure if he was involved with the whole scandal of the game. Maybe he gave some people some tips, but there's really not a lot of whole information about him telling people about the games. But maybe there was.
Mm-hmm.
But his main thing was that he was working with the mafia straight up, and he would go to these secret uh, spots, either at delis or at restaurants, and it was maybe after hours. And what the mafia would do, or maybe with Chauncey, or someone in the mafia would tell people that are rich or who are just want to get away from home,
Mm.
hey, come over here.
Mm-hmm.
We want to introduce you to Chauncey Billups.
Mm-hmm.
You want to bet, win some money,
Mm-hmm.
and people that are that gullible will go,
Mm.
and they would bring like not 1,000, 5,000, but like a few $100,000, sometimes 1 million,
Crazy.
to bet.
Wow.
And what Chauncey Billups would do is it would be 5 people in a room.
Mhm.
It would be the person that they're trying to target, and then 4 other people involved. Chauncey Billup and 3 other people that are connected to the mob or even in the mob.
Mm.
And all 4 of them are going after this dude for his money. So they would have all these different type of schemes that they can do. They wear glasses, contacts to know what card he has. They will also have like on the table they would have like see through on the bottom
Mm.
from a phone. So a guy upstairs will see that what card he has
Oh.
through the phone. And then they have this machine they call it the quarterback, which is pretty much it's within the table. They put the card in it, they press the button, it kind of shuffles it. It's supposed to shuffle like, you know, correctly. But what they did, they did their little fix up to
Mm.
scam it to make it pretty much impossible for the person to win the game.
Wow.
Yeah, so they had all that on deck. They had all this proof. They showed all the news, everything.
Mhm.
And one person lost $1.8 million in one day. Yeah,
Wow.
well, one night, I want to say. And then so he had that, and then Damian Jones was also involved with the Chauncey Billups one as well. Somewhat, but it sounds like he's a little bit more involved with the whole. This is what's gonna happen tonight.
Mm.
And the one big one that came out was when Damian Jones mentioned about number 3 on the team, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. For shooting point guard number 1, shooting guard number 2, small forward number 3, power forward number 4, center number 5. Number 3 for the play for the Lakers is LeBron James, and he said that as he didn't say LeBron James, but he said number 3 is going to be out to a friend, and there was proof from text messages.
What?
Yeah. So then they told, hey, number 3 is going to be out. Put everything you got on tonight's game. The Bucks are going to beat the Lakers. A person did it, and he won like over 300 grand, something like that. Yeah. So he was involved with the mob too.
Oh shit.
So all 3 of these high-profile players are involved, but we're not sure right now if there's any other more high-profile players or figures in general, or even mafia guys that are involved. Now, those are the 3 high-profile people that were involved. The mafia guys, you have a couple of the well-known ones right now. I can't pronounce their names. I forgot their names, but you know it's Italian. But the boss, the underboss, and a bunch of the soldiers are involved. The boss is never supposed to be involved in this and should never be in the news. He's supposed to be chilling in the back, not taking no hits, especially the underboss. He's not supposed to get none of that. The soldiers and the ones up above the soldiers, or maybe the under the soldiers, are the ones that will get hit the most when it comes to the feds because they're doing the dirty work.
Mm.
And this is really rare for the boss to be involved in this type of stuff because they're the one in the darkness.
Mm.
So you can tell the mafia has changed a whole lot, and they are not playing smart right now when it comes to the higher up people. Because in the old days, the mafias would be low key, quiet, and they would just let everyone do the dirty work.
Do you think that it's because everyone's kind of desperate right now for money?
No, no, no way. The mafia makes a lot of money.
Yeah, you think so?
Come on,
You think so
they
to get
make a
into it?
lot of money.
He said, "Come on."
They make a lot. I'll get if you're a little mom and pop shop and you're like, all right, I'm desperate. But you're the mafia, the Bonanno, Lucchese, the Genevieve. Like, come on.
Yeah, but that's like some old. I think that's like some old schooly shit now too, right? It's not that
Yeah,
like it's like a lot of old money.
yeah. I mean, this is the old.
They try to make some new money. It sounds like.
Yeah, but I just don't get why the boss did this. You're never ever supposed to show. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would you put your name out there?
Put your name in the spotlight.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. Every single boss and I know back then it's different than now, but back in the day they had bosses that were just very very, very good at keeping everything low key. Like, I don't know what happened.
Hmm.
I don't know, but they know what's up.
But they don't.
Yeah. So.
So, do you think the change up in the mafia now might be like changing the way motherfuckers are controlling it, like, or the future of it? Like, what do you think that could?
The mafia is never ever gonna change. They're never ever. It's like whack a mole. You take one person, you take one whack a mole out, another one pops up. And that's the thing. When the 1990s, when John Gotti was gone, they closed the books. Closing the books means that when you recruit guys to the life, and you know they do all these rules and all this stuff in order to get made into the family. And in the 1990s, all the way to the 2010s, they closed it for a long period of time. But they maybe did recruit, but it was very, very, very low key. So
Because,
the
like you said,
mafia,
once you want whack one, another one
yeah. So
appears.
the mafia is always gonna keep going. They're gonna still do this. They're still gonna do this because guys, there's guys in the mafia. We love sports.
You love gambling.
Yeah, they love gambling. So you're always gonna see this. They might take a little mini break, maybe a year or two hiatus, and then come back. So they're still gonna keep doing this stuff. They don't care. They don't care.
So why should we?
Why should we care if the mafia does? I don't care. Okay, and
Yeah, but then
it don't bother
you
me.
do, yeah, it does bother you because it affects these players and it
Yeah.
affects how you look at the sport.
I'd rather get the mafia get the money than the government.
You're bugging,
No,
bro.
you wanna know this?
Talk to me.
You wanna know
Talk
this?
your shit. Go ahead.
Let me explain this. So the other day, I was watching the video, and I was watching the whole NBA gambling stuff, and I was like, "This is very interesting." I didn't know this. The government literally gets the money from the gambling, and
Where's
the
it?
mafia at least they give a crap about you some way or how. Yes, it may not sound like it, but they honestly will uh give a crap.
They don't give a fuck about their
No,
own.
let me explain. So you go to a casino. Say you go to Atlantic City, and you have to put your house, your car, everything on sale in order to win everything back. They don't care. Like, all right, come. When you have no money, they kick you out. And when the casino do get the money, it goes up to not only the Senate, but all these other parts of the government, and then it goes out to other wealthy people, and the wealthy people get the money. And what do? They don't help. They
Mm-hmm.
don't help the society. They make the rich richer and the poor poorer. Now, for the mafia, it's a little bit different. You go there, you tell them, hey, I got to put my house, my car on sale, everything. The guy would be like, no, your family comes first. No, that's it. And they'll cut it off for you. They'll completely be like, yo, we're not going to do this for you. You need to stop. And they'll just tell everyone else, do not, let him gamble with his money. Tell him to go away. And they would genuinely give a crap.
I see what you're saying.
And then on top of that, they get the money, and yeah, we give it some people here and there, but that's what happens when it comes to trying to keep this thing all rolling. You got to pay the Senate, you got to pay the mayor, all this other stuff. But like many people, not the high up people, and they will care for the people. Like they will help the people out. They will give the money to some person here, some person there.
I think the same way, like how, like, let's say Trump will help certain people out. You know what I mean? Like in reality, you know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, people want to help their own. Like, and I think in reality, it's hard, right? Because you go through society and you
Hmm.
see how people are and you see how shit can be, and it's just like,
Hmm.
oh well, what the fuck? Well,
Hmm.
maybe I should just be on my own and just ride with people that are just with my clique and all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But I think that's just so stupid
Hmm.
because lacking humanity is lacking understanding, is lacking way more growth. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Because as you know, it takes time. As everyone knows, really, if they're watching, if they're listening, it takes time to grow, right? It takes time to understand lessons. Sometimes you'll go through certain lessons again and again until you learned it. You know. So
Yeah.
are we supposed to just turn our backs away from the people that haven't learned certain lessons? Or do we keep going through society? Like I mean, like don't get me wrong, I stay clear from like energies that are not for me and not really like working with me,
Uh-huh.
because fuck that. But I'm also not in control of society and
Yeah,
politics or
yeah,
anything like that.
yeah.
At the end of the day, people are still gonna need help. You know what I mean? Like people are still gonna need um service from the government,
Yeah.
and how we move forward is so dependent on how we view things,
Uh-huh.
you know. So it's like it's important, bro. I think that like if it comes down to it, the realities of the world makes things difficult for
Mhm.
people to want to come together.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, there's people out there with bigger weapons and bigger guns, and we
Yeah.
got bigger guns and bigger weapons and all this other shit that keeps on
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, I agree on that. I mean, I just find it crazy that like I know I'm very into the mafia stuff. I love the movie. I love Casino. I love Goodfellas. But I just don't get the fact that the mafia can't gamble, and they were the first one gambling. Straight up, if you look up on Google and stuff, they're the first one who actually got into the whole gambling thing.
Hmm.
Then the government comes in, sees all this stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, wait, we can make money too."
Right.
And then you throw away the mafia guys all because they gamble a few
Hmm.
thousand or a few $1 million.
Hmm.
And now you see all these casinos and stuff, and the
Right.
government takes the money, and the government doesn't
Right.
even help the people.
You're right.
And it's ridiculous. I'd rather mafia guys to help us. They care more about us than the government.
That's what it makes it seem, but it's not the case. I think that you're right though, in reality, because if the government is gonna flip it and
Uh
make
huh.
money for their own,
Uh huh.
and not put it in places that it should, it is crazy that that we.
The government's more corrupt than the mob. 100 million%. Way more corrupt. Oh my god.
I think it's not managed well.
It's corrupt. More corrupt. You gotta say that.
Well, I think a lot of things could be corrupt if you're gonna look deep into it, but I think also, um, if you're all right, corrupt through the environment that it's been placed in, then yeah, sure. Because it's also like, look at what's going around in the environment. How are you supposed to survive? How are you supposed to keep going? I'm not justifying people's actions to do whatever they want in their life. I make different decisions in my own life.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But like the thing is that people are gonna make those decisions regardless. So
Yeah.
it's dependent on what side of the fence, if you say,
Uh-huh.
you want to be on.
Yeah.
And like some people are just advantageous for their own, and then some people genuinely want to be advantageous for the people. But like another conflict behind that is like, would those same people have the same effort that the people that are fighting for the people have for them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like it's also, but I think that like whether you, I don't know, because you have your own opinions about Mamdani, but I feel like Mamdani has somewhat brought more attention into state politics,
Uh-huh.
whether people are for him or against him. Because at the end of the day, people, I don't know, I haven't seen people disengaged in the mayoral race
Yeah, yeah.
than before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time it was like this was maybe over 20 years, something like that, like around the nine
When we
eleven.
were too young to even
Yeah,
remember, recall.
yeah, that'll be the last time it was serious.
Yeah, where this seems
But
like
this
so
time,
much
I
more
think it's
attention.
much different because uh, most of the people that are here are much more the generation, much well around our age, but much like a little bit younger than us. They're much more outspoken. They don't want to deal with the bull crap anymore.
Hmm.
So they want to put their foot down, like, "Hey, we ain't doing this." Nah.
Yeah.
So that's why it's much more now than it was years back.
I just think it's important about who's putting the foot down.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
like some people put their foot down and it's like, all right, but what's your solution? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
But that's the thing. You can't trust anyone, and that's why. Remember the Bronx Tale? We
mm,
watched it, and
good movie. Good movie.
you gotta watch it. You gotta
Good
watch it.
movie.
Definitely relates to real life.
It has
Every
everything.
scene's
It has
about real
everything.
life.
It
Yes.
does.
Remember uh when Sonny came to pick up Collusional, and he was like, "Oh, you don't trust me, huh?
Hmm.
You don't trust no one, huh?"
Hmm.
He's like, "Well, you
No,
can."
no.
He's like, "You really can't trust anyone." He
Hmm.
pretty much says it like you can't really trust anyone,
Hmm.
and it's true because like look at the NBA, look at the government, look how you want everyone to follow. You want everyone to do the right thing and follow the rules and help one another. But you always have that one person who screws it up for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that trickles down to more people will want to do it. Oh, if he can do it, I can do it.
Right.
And you can't trust nobody.
Right.
That's why it's so hard. Me and you, we met people and we're like, hey, we can't trust this person, or
You're
this
like, what
person
the
doesn't
fuck?
genuinely
Yeah.
care. So it's
Yeah.
like it's
Some
so
bullshit.
hard now. So that's why it makes it very tricky for like everything you do and when you get older, some of you are younger, you're gonna realize that you could be the nicest person in the world and you're gonna get effed over
Mm.
easily. Because just how the world is now. I think it's always been like this for years and years. Even our 10th great grandparents dealt with this crap too.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's like it's just how the human people are. It's just everyone is pretty much out for themselves. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think we are though, and I
No,
don't think
no,
there's still be a lot of people in the mix that aren't that way, bro. And
no.
that's what I don't know. Meeting people like that and going through this life keeps
No.
me going too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, bro? Because that's just what it is, bro. You gotta keep it flowing. You gotta keep the energies
yeah, yeah,
good, man. Because there's so much going on in the
yeah.
exterior.